those keywords that eventually got down to that low priority, we know those were winners. We know those were doing well. So we would then take those same keywords and make a search campaign out of it. And it was just kind of like this circular process of like mining keywords.
We interrupt this program to bring you this important message. Welcome to Marketing Interruption, a daily podcast powered by BlueTuskr that interrupts your day with marketing news, tips and strategies from an entrepreneur who lives and breathes marketing. Now, let the interruption begin with your host, Andrew Maff.
Hello and welcome to episode number 69 of the Marketing Interruption podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Maff. Today I wanted to talk to you about if Google's smart shopping campaigns actually work. So I've had so much experience with this. We have a ton of paid advertising people we work with, and I've done it a lot in the past. When they first came out, I was like, great, this is going to completely save us a ton of time. And just like I've said in most of the podcasts, I'm going to say it's a case-by-case basis. So the biggest benefit that we used to have from doing regular shopping campaigns was, you would have a high priority, then you would negate it, drop it down to a medium, negate the keyword again, drop it down to a low priority, and then just bid the shit out of it, and that's how you would kind of win. And the benefit we had out of that was those keywords that eventually got down to that low priority, we know those were winners, we know those were doing well, so we would then take those same keywords and make a search campaign out of it. And it was just kind of like this circular process of like mining keywords and bidding just as high as I can to knock out competition. And the nice thing about smart shopping campaigns is that, they can work pretty well, but the biggest issue I've always had with them is you get zero data. To me, it's almost like working with Amazon where you almost don't own the customer. You have no idea what they searched. You have no idea really any of that kind of data that you can leverage in any of the other campaigns. But I've had sellers, we've done them, we've set them up a few different ways. So your first thought, which this is how we did it a few years ago when they first came out, was I said, okay, just like regular campaigns, I'm going to want to group all of the products together. So, we would take a product category from a certain seller and make a smart shopping campaign out of that. We'd take another category and do it that way and so on. And my logic was it's going to learn from all those keywords and it's going to sell that product line as best it can. The problem was it actually doesn't really work that way. It kind of works more of it needs as much data as it can possibly get. And just like if you were to do, maximize conversions, or if you were to try to do, target ROAS or something like that, you need to get like 25 conversions within like a good week or two to get a minimal amount of data. And so for smart shopping campaigns, if you break them down where they're that small and you're not getting that much traffic for a couple of those categories, they can actually bleed out, because what will happen is they'll start to increase bids on ridiculous keywords just to try to get a conversion somewhere. So we've actually found that the way that they work the best is to just trust the process and shove every single product into that category and just hit go. It sounds ridiculous, but it actually has sort of worked. And we've done stuff like that for other sellers and it doesn't work as well. And to be honest, I can't really tell you why it works for some and why it doesn't work for others. There are some glaringly obvious things, like maybe they didn't have enough conversions in a certain time frame. Maybe there's just not enough search volume. Maybe it's a wildly competitive space and now you're just bidding like ridiculous numbers on things. There's a lot of different reasons on why it may not work, but I would say the easiest thing to do is a 2-week test, right? Take all of your shopping campaigns. When you do a smart shopping campaign, by the way, it's going to cater to that campaign. Google's going to cater to that campaign over all of your regular ones. So if you do a smart shopping campaign with all of your products, be prepared for all of your other shopping campaigns to turn off. So I would look at what it is you're spending on a daily basis for all of your shopping campaigns. Make that your daily budget for a smart shopping campaign. Turn off all the other ones, just pause them, and let the smart shopping campaign run for 2 weeks. At the end of 2 weeks, if you're not hitting an ROI that you're happy with, I would say revert back, go back to the way things were. You didn't lose that much in 2 weeks, and it was worth the try to see if it was worth it. Because a lot of people think like, oh, the ROI is the same, or or it's not that big of a difference, or maybe it's a little bit less. But what you're not taking into account also is the amount of hours that you may have spent on it. So I'm not sitting here saying I'm an advocate for smart shopping campaigns, but I am going to say that it's definitely worth testing. Everything is worth testing. Some people kind of get stuck doing the same thing over and over, which is basically the definition of insanity or whatever they say. But there's nothing wrong with trying something new, because if you don't innovate, you're going to die. So I would definitely suggest giving smart shopping campaigns a try. Leave it to a 2-week test. Set a reminder for you to check where it's at every week or whatever, and after 2 weeks, decide if you want to keep it or not. But I would suggest giving it a try. I would also make sure that if you have a very small product line, I probably wouldn't suggest it. I think it's better for larger product lines. But that's kind of just based off experience of stuff that I've seen work in the past. But that's all I want to go over today. If you have any questions, something you want me to review on the show, feel free to shoot me an email, marketinginterruption@BlueTuskr.com. If not, rate, review, subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow.
Thank you for joining us for today's Marketing Interruption. Make sure to rate, review and subscribe to the show. And don't forget to email marketinginterruption@BlueTuskr.com with any marketing questions you'd like to have answered on the show. And head over to marketinginterruption.bluetuskr.com to catch up on past episodes. Until next time, we now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.